Welcome to Joe's Astrology. Today is Tuesday, May 21st, 2024, and Gemini season is firmly upon us, and I'm already seeing the effect in my own life, and I have to say that I fucking love it. One thing we can learn from Gemini, and this is literally just coming to me now, and I just did a video on Gemini, I think, if I remember correctly, talking about the negative and the positive effects of Gemini. And this is something that I struggle with and that I'm learning now at this later stage in life. And I'm learning this from Gemini, and that is going with the flow. And I'm not that much of a, I do have a lot of fixed energy in my chart, but I consider myself to be somewhere in the middle. I think I have some mutable energy. I have some flexibility. But when I set my mind to something, and when I know something, it can be very frustrating when I don't get what I want. And it's been something I struggle with, where I think I've followed things through a little bit longer than I should. And I can't even really say that. I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I have a good balance between mutable, fixed, and cardinal. But I do notice when I'm kind of going the wrong way, I should say. And you can do this too with the cardinal, the mutable, and the fixed energy. You get like a feeling that, there's a feeling that gives you excitement. Let's say you're like really into cardinal energy, like getting started. Like for me, every day when I have like a purpose or something to do, I tend to enjoy waking up early and getting started and doing it again. But then to be really fixated the whole day doesn't really work for me. I like to jump around and get started, take a little break, get started again, take a little break, maybe go do something else, come back to it. And I think that for me, that could be something to do with the balance of all, incorporating all three. But back to Gemini, something that Gemini can really teach us is this idea of going with the flow. And it's a little bit different from just saying just whatever you feel or whatever's going on, just kind of go with it. That's not really what I mean by going with the flow. What I mean by that is you could even have some goals that you want to achieve or something you want to do. And when things don't go your way, like on a particular day, I didn't try that. You just kind of brush it off, and you can look at today's energy and say, okay, well, the sun's in Gemini, and in my case, you can even look in other people's charts and you can see what's going on. Gemini will do that. Gemini will go from place to place, from person to person, and it doesn't really bother Gemini. But for someone like me with all the fixed energy, and maybe even having Earth energy, it can bother you, but you got to remember Gemini's lesson here. Every day is different. The energies are constantly moving. The planets are constantly moving. If you want to get into the science of it, energy is constantly moving. People are getting into this. You're getting into that. Something good happens. Something bad happens. The ebbs and flows. And this is what Gemini has to teach us, because Gemini isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon. We're not getting rid of Gemini. As much as it seems like the government and countries, etc., want to make everything uniform. Like Gemini, you think of cash, a cashless society, and the idea of hustling for money and being a salesperson, or just kind of getting some cash on the barrel, as my father would call it, cash on the barrel head. Cash on the barrel head, it's not going away. It's not going away. And even if it does go away, it's going to be an absolute disaster. Because Gemini has to assert itself. And when them Gemini babies are born, it could cause some real problems for anyone trying to get too much into the Taurus, too much into the Capricorn. We see Taurus, Cancer are making are adjacent to the sign of Gemini. We see that Capricorn, Virgo is in conjunct. These people try to get too much in their Virgo. Gemini is not going to stand for it. And you don't want to see Gemini pissed off. You do not want to see Gemini pissed off. As I call with my friend, one of my friends had a lot of Gemini energy. He was a Cancer sun, but he had North Node and Mercury in Gemini. And you do not want to see that man mad, because with that Cancer energy and that Gemini, we used to say he had, well, I'm not even going to say it, what we used to say. It's inappropriate. But yeah, you don't want to piss off Gemini. So yeah, Gemini's not going away. And lessons like this can really help people. And one thing else I would do, like on days where things aren't going that well, literally just take off, learn from Gemini, and just go float like a butterfly. Flirt with people, go from this place to that place, forget about all responsibility. Just turn off your phone. If you don't want to be by yourself, go find someone, go find a friend, like air sign Aquarius, go find that Aquarius friend, encourage them to take off, quit for the day. Or worst case scenario, go find some vagabond on the street, because he's definitely living the Gemini life, and he ain't got shit to do. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I do have some work to do that I absolutely have to do, but beyond that, I am gonna go get on my bike. After that, I'm gonna get on my bike and just go drift off into space, just like Gemini is telling me to do today.